Psalm 119, Day 15. Live according to your law. We'll be reading verses 81 through 88. My soul longs for your salvation. I hope in your word. My eyes long for your promise. I ask, when will you comfort me? For I have become like a wineskin in the smoke, yet I have not forgotten your statutes. How long must your servant endure? When will you judge those who persecute me? The insolent have dug pitfalls for me. They do not live according to your law. All your commandments are sure. They persecute me with falsehood. Help me. They have almost made an end to me on earth, but I have not forsaken your precepts. In your steadfast love, give me life that I may keep the testimonies of your mouth. Our thoughts for today center around verse 85. The insolent have dug pitfalls for me. They do not live according to your law. Let's divine a couple of words in our verse today. The insolent. It is the Hebrew word zedeh. It means arrogant or presumptuous, proud. Pitfalls, the Hebrew word shayach, means a pit. 6 times in this psalm, the insolent are mentioned. In verse 21, verse 51, verse 69, verse 78, here in verse 85, and again in verse 122. It seems that in all but one, the insolent have somehow set their sights upon him to bring him down and oppress him. What is it about pride that stands against God and his followers? Between arrogance and pride and haughtiness, the book of Proverbs mentions them 16 times, and not once in a positive light. Consider the following examples. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall, in Proverbs 16:18. Everyone who is arrogant in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Be assured he will not go unpunished, Proverbs 16:5. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked, are sin, Proverbs 21:4. Haughty eyes are listed as one of the 7 things God hates in Proverbs 6:17. Both Peter and James quote from Proverbs 3:34 and tell us that God oppresses the proud, but gives grace to the humble, in 1 Peter 5:5 and James 4:6. The Apostle John writes, "For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh, and the desires of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not from the Father, but is from the world," 1 John 2:16. It is said, God resists the proud because the proud resist God. It is the dependence upon self and the failure to yield to humility. C.S. Lewis said, according to Christian teachers, the essential vice, the utmost evil, is pride. But why would the proud, the arrogant, the haughty, the insolent people desire our author's fail? A good character study would be Haman from the book of Esther. With only the king more powerful than Haman, all in the empire bowed to him. Only one person, Mordecai the Jew, would not bow to him. But Haman's pride could not let that go. He would rather see tens of thousands of Jews slaughtered than to concede one knee that would not bow to him. His pride would ultimately be his undoing and lead not only to his death, but the death of his entire family. How is it that pride blinds? Perhaps it is because all that one sees is themselves and no one else. There is no room for God and his way in that life. Over and over, the ways of pride, arrogance, and haughtiness are contrasted with that of meekness, humility, and unselfishness. No wonder that as Jesus begins his Sermon on the Mount, he starts in the Beatitudes by saying among them, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Matthew 5:5. Jesus will again and again tell of the attributes that his Father desires. A childlike attitude in Matthew 18:3-4 and Mark 10:14. A willingness to serve in John 13. A servant's attitude in Matthew chapter 20 and verse 26. Each of these are marked by humility and stand opposed to the proud and insolent. Have you gotten your pride in check? And Lord willing, we'll see you again tomorrow.